Hi, friends. This is Lori. We're reading Same Sun Here by Silas House and Neela Vishwani. We are on page 152. And on page 152, it says, Dear Mina. So we have an R here because we know that River is going to read this. Or write this, excuse me. River is writing this letter to Mina. December 11th, 2008. Dear Mina, I am so sorry. There's nothing else to say, but I'll try. I cannot imagine Mama dying. It seems like the whole world would shut down. So I know how hard this must be. I will be praying for you. Some people I know say that I am a sinner since I never go to church anymore. But who are they to judge me? Don't tell anybody, but I still talk to God all the time. I pray every night. Mostly that Daddy will come home from the Gulf Coast and that Mom will stop having such terrible headaches and that Mama will be okay. Sorry about that last part. At first I wrote it without thinking and then started to delete it because I thought it might upset you worse. What with your own Mama passing away and all. But then I thought, no, I know Mina and she would want me to write what is on my mind. But now the more I write, the more I feel like I might be making it all worse instead of making it better. So I'll just close by saying that I'm sorry again. I feel like Daddy was somebody I knew too. So I was sad for that reason. But I guess the main reason I am sad is because I hate to think of you being sad and hurting. There are only two other things I want to say. Number one, I am glad you want to be a teacher, but you can be a poet too. My teacher, Miss Stedman, is the best English teacher in the world, but she is also a poet. She doesn't like to talk about it at school, but one of her poems got published in a magazine. And another teacher at school, Mrs. Sherman, was so proud of her that she had the secretary announce it over the PA system. Miss Stedman's cheeks got blood red, and when we all clapped too long, she didn't even get mad like usual, but just laughed and kept putting her hands out as if to tell us to stop, but we didn't. And I think she might have cried a little too. We begged and begged for her to read her poem to us, but she wouldn't. So you don't have to choose one or the other. You can be both like Miss Stedman. Number two, I like the part of your letter about Kiku carrying you and then you two screaming in the subway. He seems like a real good brother. I wish I had one. And I bet the screaming will help you not to feel so mad anymore. Mama says that sometimes it's real good to get mad and that it's just what a person needs to do. But you can only stay mad so long without it making you feel bad. That's what I think, at least. I hope you know that I am thinking of you and hoping that things get better. Oh, and right now I am loving The Clash. I listen to all their songs on YouTube. My favorite is Should I Stay or Should I Go? I couldn't help but dance to it. So I got up and danced all over my bedroom, bouncing on the bed and jumping all over the place. When the song went off, I was sweating and breathing so hard. It felt good, like I had gotten some frustration out of the way, out in a good way. Sincerely, River. Okay, the next page 155, we have Mina writing a letter to River. December 10th, 2008. Dear River, I was so happy to see your letter in the mailbox. It's been lonely without you. I thought you didn't want to be friends anymore. I think our two letters must have crossed in the mail. How are you doing? You must be so worried. Is your mom still in the hospital? Is she going to be okay? That was all really scary to read. I will not tell anybody that you cried. I would have cried too. It is very good that you and your mama were there for your mother when she needed you. I love what you said about the mountains. That was so beautiful and true. In 10 days, it will be 1 month since Daddy died. I think about her all the time. I try to remember everything I can about her. I am afraid I will forget. Mom is eating again, but she has not laughed in a while. Kiku is finding it hard to concentrate on his homework. It made me real sad to read about your parents and how they used to be. Maybe they will be like that again someday. Sometimes I think Mommy and Daddy don't fight anymore, only because they hardly ever see each other. I can't believe you gave Sam Brock a black eye. Your fist fight sounded just like a movie. I hope you'll be back playing soon. I agree with your mama that it's not good to hit people, even stupid boys like Sam Brock. But I agree with what you said too. Sometimes it's very hard to know what to do. I have never heard that word faggot before I came to New York. I asked Valentina what it meant, and she said a boy who wants to make out with other boys. I said, like gay? She said, yeah, but a mean word for it. That's why we don't use that word, because it's mean. There's a boy in drama club named Carlos. He's in 9th grade and knows about everything. Marvel Jenkins says he doesn't live with his parents because 2 years ago, he told them he was gay. They beat him up and made him sleep on the floor of a church. And Carlos called the cops on them, and they all went to court. Now Carlos stays with his aunt on Essex Street, and they go to midnight movies all the time on weekends, and they don't change out of their pajamas if they don't feel like it. Carlos knows the words to every single movie that was ever made. He's playing the part of Gregory Gardner in a chorus line, and he's also doing hair and makeup for the girls. He's better at it than Miss Bledsoe. Anyway, someone wrote that mean word on Carlos's locker. I didn't see this happen because I was absent that day, but Marvel Jenkins saw, and she told everyone. It was in between classes, and there were a lot of kids and teachers in the hallway, and Carlos took out a black magic marker from his pack, and he drew a flower and a rainbow on his locker. Then he wrote in big letters underneath the word faggot, and proud of it. He got detention for defacing school property, but he said, I refuse to honor my detention unless the other individual who wrote on my locker confesses to his crime like a real man. Well, the principal said that was fair. Nobody confessed, so Carlos didn't get detention. All that stuff is still on his locker. I went and looked at it the other day. He's really good at drawing flowers. Maybe you could do something like that if Sam Brock calls you that word again. If you take the bad word and make it good, then you won't have to hit him and you could just play basketball like you want to. Do you think you would like making out with a boy or a girl? I asked Kiku that and he said, duh, I have a girlfriend, stupid. But his friend David has a boyfriend and they call each other sweetie and wear each other's jeans. That sounds nice to me. Everybody at school is getting excited about Christmas. Sometimes I feel left out at Christmas because I don't know the songs and we don't have a tree. Do you have a tree? I bet your mama makes it beautiful. You and your mama make it beautiful. I saw the big one at Rockefeller Center on Mrs. Lau's TV. She said they should just plant one there and decorate it every year and stop killing a new tree each year. I think that is a very good idea. Daddy will be working through Christmas because he is not Christian. The catering hall asked him to, but he will come home for New Year's. I'm dreading the new year. I don't want it to turn 2009. It will be the very first year we will live in a world without Daddy. We have been working hard in drama club. The play goes up in 5 weeks. We are going to have rehearsals even over Christmas break. I'm still painting the black backdrops and I'm learning how to do the light cues. I like that everyone in drama club has at least 2 jobs. You learn more that way. We had 3 inches of snow yesterday. You can always tell how much it snowed by looking at the tops of the parking meters. It came down like confetti and made me miss Daddy so bad I thought I would vomit. She loved snow and she called it God's blessing. I wonder all the time where Daddy is now. I know she would say she's in things like snow and sunshine. She would say that nothing ever dies. It is just remade. But I still miss her. I sat on the fire escape in my coat and hat and gloves and watched the snow for a long time. It went past my ears like whispers and turned the sky pink. I saw a woman in the building across the way watching the snow too. She was standing in her window, and when I waved at her, she waved back. The city salts the pavement after it snows, which makes it very painful for Cuba to walk. The salt cuts up his paws and makes him bleed. I looked at these booties for dogs, but they cost $20. When I told Kiku, he said he would do a mad engineer rendition of a booty. Sometimes he just talks crazy. Well, he cut up old socks, layered them with duct tape, and then rubber banded them around Cuba's paws. Homemade booties. He is very inventive, my brother. And Cuba looks so funny. You see Cuba with his new booties, his new shoes for the snow. Watching him, Mrs. Lau and I can't stop laughing. With the booties on, Cuba can't walk properly. He lifts his paws up high and tries to bite the booties off. And then he sits down and refuses to budge and looks very, very sad. But I think he is starting to like them. I think he has realized that when he has them on, his paws don't get hurt by the salt. Today, he even licked my ear as I put the booties on him. This is what Cuba looks like with his mad engineered booties. Does Rufus come inside when it's cold? I do not know much about rent control, so I asked Mrs. Lau. She said hers was started in 1971. So long as she or her children live nonstop in the apartment, they can keep paying the fixed rate. Mrs. Lau says the law was invented to help tenants so landlords couldn't keep charging more and making life impossible. But these days, landlords want all the rent control people to leave so they can sell their apartments for a lot of money. Sometimes they do very bad things to make people leave. For example, there's a woman named Vanessa who lives on the 2nd floor. Her mother had their apartment with a rent control, and when she died, Vanessa got the lease. Vanessa has a baby. Last week, Mrs. Lau was talking to her on the stoop, and she found out that because the landlord hasn't repaired Vanessa's apartment in 25 years, it is falling apart. There's mold everywhere from the leaks, and you can see the pipes in the walls and the ceiling. Vanessa says Child Services got an anonymous call, and when they came and saw her apartment, they said she could not raise her daughter there. It was too dirty and dangerous. She said she knows it was the landlord. She said she knows it was the landlord who made the anonymous call, but he won't fix anything, and Vanessa doesn't have the money for repairs. So now she either has to put her baby in foster care or move. Mrs. Lau said they will leave New York City and go to New Jersey, but the girl doesn't know how to live anyplace else. She doesn't even know how to drive a car because she has always taken the subway and the bus. She was born here, and so was her mother and her grandmother. The address you mail letters to is actually Mrs. Lau's post office box. That is something else I do. I get the mail every day. We do not have mail sent to the apartment because then people would know we live there. That is also why we don't have TV or landline or internet, because besides the fact that it's expensive, so there's no record of us with any companies. I don't know what kind of lies we are telling, if they are white or green or red, but they are hard to tell, and I wish we didn't have to. I don't remember hearing a message from you on December 7th at 6:34 p.m., unless what you said was hi. I will try to send you a message now. There, I just did. December 10th, 9:07. Did you hear me? I think we could have telepathy too. That would be really fun. and it would save money on stamps. I hope you will not be jealous, but I have a new pen pal. It is Daddy. I am helping him study for the citizenship exam. We read the readings on the same day, and then I make up little quizzes and mail them to him. He sends them back to me, and I grade them. Kiku got me a red pen, and I'm practicing to be a teacher. In a weird way, it's hard to do the readings. I feel like I shouldn't be a citizen of a country that wasn't Daddy's. Sometimes I want to run away and go back home. Maybe if I go to Mussoorie, Daddy will be there, singing a song, watching a thunderstorm. Maybe I just need to go home and then she will come back. Maybe she is waiting for me. MIA stands for missing in action. It is cool that you knew that. I had to ask Kiku what it meant. MIA is Tamil, but grew up in Sri Lanka, and her daddy was a revolutionary who hid from the army. So she grew up without him. She is like us, away from her daddy. I don't know if you would like her music. She curses and she talks a lot about being a girl. I bet she is someone who would write a song about shaving her legs. Kiku calls her sassy. He and Mom and I listen to her albums all the time, but we don't play them in front of Daddy. He only likes Bollywood songs from the 70s and the Rolling Stones. I do not know Here Comes the Sun. I will ask Kiku if he has it. If you like it, I know I will too. I forgot to answer one of your questions from a while ago. You asked about Gandhiji. In Hindi, Ji is something that you put at the end of someone's name to show that you respect them. Gandhiji is so respected, we always say Ji at the end of his name. You do it for people who are older than you too. Like if I had met your mama in India, I would call her Mamaji. It is a sad night here. I can hear Mrs. Lau's television through the wall. I better go fold the laundry. Having Kiku's bike inside has made everything very cramped. Right now, the bike is in the middle of the living room covered in all of our underpants and socks. It saves money on the dryer to hang things up. I can see Mom studying at the kitchen table. She has decided to go to nursing school when she becomes a citizen. There's a lot she has to learn first, though. I have been trying to be cheerful in this letter. I hope it has worked. I hope you are okay. I will send you another telepathic message tomorrow. Maybe if I stand on the roof, you'll hear me better. I hope that your mother is home and that she doesn't have a headache. I hope your daddy arrives soon and in a good mood. Merry early Christmas. Keep your chin up. Miss Bledsoe has been saying that to me. Keep your chin up. I like it. Namaskar Mera Dost, Mina. I have never heard that word Sabbath before. It's very pretty. Thank you for telling me about it. I think it would be a good name for a parakeet. I will tell Mrs. Lau. PPS, today the sun was out. As I walked to school, I wondered if it was sunny in Kentucky too. And then I thought to myself, it's the same sun here as it is there. And that made me feel like you're not so far away after all. That's the name of the book right there. Same sun here. That's the name of the book. When Mina looks at the sun, she realizes it's the same sun that river sees. It's the same sun here. That's the name of the book. And you can see she drew a picture of the sun over New York and Kentucky. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you.